This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time. All in one place, all on your terms. Hello there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about the seasons and magic. The seasons, like herbs, are powerful natural energies, and working with them in your practice can lend a great deal of power. Within the ebb and flow of their rhythms, we find a guide to some of the most fundamental energetic tides of our environment. Just as a gardener must plant seeds during a favorable season, in magic our practices are most likely to flourish when worked in tandem with nature's shifts. And seeking this harmony forges a connection in the craft that is seldom made otherwise. This is a topic that you hear me talk about all the time. Most everything I share here is in line with the seasons, and it's something that is important to consider in practice. Also, this is the next video in the series that follows in line with my book, The Green Witch's Guide to Herbal Magic. So if you have the book, you can go ahead and turn to page 153. If you don't have the book yet, you can get it in one of the links in my description down below. I offer a ton of different places you can get it from, so you can pick what is best for you. And with that, I'm excited to dive deeper into this with you. But before we do, this video is sponsored, so let's hear a little bit more about that first. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace domains make it easy to find the best name for your business at one fair, all-inclusive price. No hidden fees or add-ons required. Every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included to ensure your domain remains online and protected. Plus, Squarespace provides everything you need to bring more of your dreams to life, whether that means building a website or adding a professional email service. Squarespace also makes it easy to create members-only content for your community. Monetize your content by selling access to online courses, blogs, videos, and memberships. Start with a full customizable website and earn recurring revenue by gating your content behind a paywall. Simply set the price and choose whether to charge a one-time fee or subscription for access. You can also make smarter business decisions with Squarespace's intuitive built-in analytics tools. Review website traffic, learn where to focus engagement, and track revenue from bookings, invoices, or product sales all from one place. So if this sounds interesting to you, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/thegreenwitch to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring, and let's get back into it. Alrighty, welcome back. Of course, seasonal shifts are ruled by where we live. The seasons I experience are vastly different compared to the ones that most of you experience. Depending on where you live, even the extremeness and type of seasons may be different. Some areas have extreme winters and summers with distinct fall and spring seasons, whereas others may have mostly summery weather with maybe a lighter winter, or maybe you're somewhere that doesn't even have those kinds of seasons, but maybe something more like a rainy season and a dry season. There are so many different ways to experience seasonal shifts, and this is something that's going to be very unique to each individual. But regardless of where we find ourselves, there is a distinct rhythm to be found in nature, and one that we can align with. Each shift carries its own distinct energy. It changes the way we interact with the world and really influences much of our lives. In the winter, we bundle up and wear more clothing. Maybe we're a little slower in our days because it's darker. The activities we engage with when it's rainy versus sunny are different. So just as much as the seasons impact our life, it impacts our magical practice as well. And discovering how these energies impact our craft is somewhat intuitive. It takes time and is something you'll discover as your path progresses. I've lived here through 5 winters now, and I feel like this is the first time that I really have a grasp on the energies of this season. But it took a great deal of time and mindful awareness to get here, and I am still learning things every year. This is something, like everything, that will continue to evolve along your path as it continues to evolve. But there is a shortcut, and for many this is observing the solstices and the equinoxes. These occur on the same day around the world. However, they are flipped depending on if you are in the southern or northern hemisphere. So when it is the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, it is the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. With this in mind though, the shifts, energies, and practices that can be followed around these times are the same, and it is a good base guide to the seasons. So let's begin our conversation there. Starting first with the winter solstice to the spring equinox, that first quarter of the year. This is a time of new beginnings, cleansing, renewal, and preparing for the time ahead. The winter solstice is the shortest day and longest night of the year. After this day, the light will continue to grow each day until it reaches its peak during the summer solstice, and it will hit the middle at the spring equinox. The time between the winter solstice and the spring equinox is marked by the light's growth, and thus is a time of renewal, new beginnings, and preparation for the time ahead. Often people participate in spring cleaning during this time to get rid of the stagnant energy of winter and open up our space to that bright energy that is to come. So magically, this is a fantastic time to cleanse, as well as to start planning your magical garden, if you will, in the year to come. The energy is beginning to reawaken at this time, and it is perfect for fresh starts. Now let's talk about the spring equinox to the summer solstice, the second quarter of the year. This is a time of growth and increase. On the day of the spring equinox, light and dark share the sky as equals. From this day forward, the light will continue to grow until it reaches its peak on the summer solstice. And the time between the two is just marked by this continual growth. This is the perfect time to sow the seeds of any plans that you made during the previous quarter of the year and continue to nurture anything that you might have already begun. Magically, this is a time of rapid growth and development, and we will be reaching abundance at the summer solstice. So now let's talk about the third quarter of the year, the summer solstice to the autumn equinox. This is a time of abundance, prosperity, culmination, and harvest. The summer solstice is the longest day and shortest night of the year. From this day forward, the dark will now take over until it is at its darkest during the winter solstice. And so there's a steady decrease in light from the summer solstice to the autumn equinox, where the light and dark will meet again as equals. This time is commonly associated with abundance and harvest. Collect what was sown during the previous season and begin to prepare for the lull of the next. The energy of the season is abundant and strong, and it'll lend itself readily to workings of abundance and prosperity especially. Reap what you've sown in the previous seasons and do larger workings for great achievement. The energy is very awake and potent. Now let's talk about the last quarter of the year, the autumn equinox to the winter solstice. This is a time of rest, reflection, and conclusion. On the day of the autumn equinox, light and dark share the sky as equals, and the darkness will continue to overtake the light until the winter solstice. And this space in between there is a time of rest and reflection. The energy diminishes and slows during this tide, and in many places the earth falls asleep. This rest is necessary for the earth to rejuvenate in order to reawaken and come back in the spring. This is a perfect time to rest, learn, work on personal goals, and reflect on the previous season. I usually do a lot of work in my Book of Shadows during this time and really just bring everything that I've learned over the previous year and put that knowledge together and just rest. It's not a time to be busy anymore. We did that through all the other seasons. Reflect and rest. Now, of course, it is entirely possible to practice magic without the aid of the seasons, but it's preferable to work in line with them as much as you can. No matter where you live, there will be recognizable patterns in the seasons. The equinoxes and solstices are an easy base guide because they do affect all of us. Now, the amount that they do varies significantly, but they are still really good markers of time. It's important to consider, though, beyond these, what other seasons you may have. Perhaps you'll have seasons of certain plants that come into bloom. Here we have tulips and lavender and one of my favorites, salmon berries. You may also have migration habits of animals. Here we have snow geese and salmon season. Or perhaps it's more cycles in the weather. We definitely have a rainy season and a dry season here, and those play a big part in the energies of the earth around me. So take note of these other aspects of nature beyond just the solstices and the equinoxes. Look to the weather, look to the animals, and look to the plant life around you. You can also consider seasons of people, celebrations that you may have in your community. I know where I grew up, Oktoberfest was a big celebration and a large part of the season. This can also be something like May Day or Halloween. Now, when it comes to integrating the seasons into your magical practice, it is very straightforward. Simply work with the energies that are abounding during that time. In herbal magic, this is very simple. Work with the herbs that are currently in abundance. I try to at least always add one herb that is in current abundance. So lately I've been doing a lot of work with dandelions, and soon I will be working with lilacs. And I did some previous work with violets. These are all my spring herbs, and as the summer comes, I'll be working with so many different plants. But in the winter, I usually work primarily with evergreens. Personally, I feel as long as you are adding at least one seasonal herb to your practice, you can very well integrate into the season. It pulls those energies that are abundant around you and really influences your magic in a powerful way. You can also bring the seasons into your home, collecting those plants, growing them in your space, or filling bouquets with them. Anything to bring it around you and influence your energy. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It can be very, very simple and have a profound impact. So when it comes to working with the seasons, it is a deeply personal and unique thing because of how different the seasons are depending on where we all live. But it's not very complicated. Just take some time to sit and observe and connect. Take a moment, step outside and see what's going around you. Take a flower inside or a sprig of evergreen, and that alone will influence your magic. Over time, this way of working will hone your intuition, grant balance, and help you to build a robust and sustainable practice, both for yourself and the earth. So I hope this was useful for you. Next, I will be talking about the rhythms of the moon. The seasons and the moon work really well together, and I'm looking forward to diving into that other part of strong magical energy. But that is it for now, and I hope you have enjoyed. So if you can and would like to, I'd appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon. There I share art, herbal profiles, book recommendations, and monthly workshops. I also have another channel where I share more day-to-day life, more magic, herbalism, all of those good things. And of course, I have my book, which this video is based upon. So if you are interested in any of those, they will all be linked in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.